Good morning, friends and enthusiasts of finance. So, today I will be continuing with our discussion on equity derivatives. This is, we are trying to understand the Series 8 NISM equity derivatives examination. So, in this context, yesterday we have seen about how it is useful for a finance student to work in brokerages, banks, mutual funds, finance companies as a derivatives dealer. Now we will see various topics related to it. Let me share my screen. In this, let us open the PPT, which we have discussed yesterday. Regarding this derivatives market. Hope all of you are able to see the screen. Now, in any market, whether it is derivatives market or equity market, there are three types of activities, three main types of activities that you should be familiar with. For that matter, any market, fixed income market, commodity market, or forex market. This is what trade process, or what is the trade life cycle, you can say. If you see that trade life cycle, we have three phases. That is trading, clearing, and settlement. So this is what we call as trade life cycle. Okay, let me erase this for clarity purpose. So what you can see here is this trade life cycle is what we are concerned with. Basically, Now, these three phases, trading, clearing, and settlement. If you see if you go to the next slide. It sounds small. Let me see this. Okay, fine. If you go see the next slide, you have so in these derivatives, there are huge turnover is being witnessed. If you see, derivatives market is a huge market when compared to your equity, cash market, or spot market, because derivatives has a lot of advantages, and which we will see. It entails less transaction costs, less friction, and people can take leveraged bets, and it aids your price discovery. There's a lot of advantages, and derivatives basically gives you a smooth mechanism for price discovery. It is you can easily impound your information into the prices, because stock price is ultimately that is what that is the end product of a financial market. So the price discovery is a huge, hugely important mechanism for various things, for capital allocation, for risk measurement, and the total economies are run on the basis of financial prices. So you have various types of derivative instruments like forwards, futures, and options. So in this course, as you go through, we will get to understand these things like futures pricing, options pricing, payoff diagrams, hedging, speculation, arbitrage, risk management, and settlement. So basically, this derivatives is a very big. You can use it for multiple purposes, because we can use this for hedging purpose also. So basically, this derivatives are invented for risk management or hedging in the initial stages. So one more important thing you have to understand is this: our presentation, our topic in NiSM-Series 8 context is restricted to exchange traded financial derivatives, because basically there are two types of derivatives. You can classify them as OTC derivatives and exchange traded ETC derivatives. So as you are aware, this exchange traded derivatives means the instruments are traded in an exchange, like futures and options. So basically, what is a derivative? Derivative is is an instrument. Is a derivatives is an instrument whose price is derived from an underlying instrument, an underlying asset. This underlying asset can be an equity, it can be a fixed income instrument, it can be a currency, it can be a commodity, it can be a weather, electricity, so many things. It can be anything. So that means there are two things being traded. One is the asset, and second is the contract based upon that asset. So there are these two types of derivatives, what we call exchange traded and OTC. In the OTC means you will go and deal with the other counterparty. That other counterparty is, it can be, suppose you are going into a real estate transaction. So in this real estate transaction, the counterparty is the builder. So it is a agreement between you and the builder. There is no other third party involved. Whereas in exchange traded derivatives, there is a buyer and seller, both are anonymous. The buyer doesn't know the seller doesn't know the buyer. So you have what in the middle, that is what you call, when the stock exchange comes into the as a counterparty to both the buyer and seller. So the buyer sees only the exchange, seller sees only the exchange. This is what we call novation. That means it is a lot of counter guarantee. There is the risk is almost made to zero, because the stock exchange or the clearing corporation guarantees your trade by having a huge amount of reserves to execute that claim. They have what you call settlement guarantee fund. That means all your trades are trade guarantee fund. All your trades are guaranteed by the stock exchange in case of default. So now if you see the derivatives at NSE, the derivatives trading started in the year 2000. So before that, we were having different types of systems which involved in malfunctioning, a lot of what you call bad deliveries, settlement failures, stock exchange closures. So many things happened. So because what we are not, that is the main aim of derivatives is to separate speculation from investment. So earlier we have one system where there is both investment and speculation are combined, which is a lot of leading to a lot of troubles in the financial markets. Now we have 6 different products are traded at NSE. Of course, this is a older slide. There is a huge amount of growth now compared to earlier periods. So you have various types of products: single stock futures, single stock options, index futures, index options, and some rupee based, that is currency derivatives. Now, one of the important thing is a lot of retail participation is there in this derivatives market. Almost 60% of the volume is non-institutional retail. Now it is almost third largest derivatives exchange in India. So if you take only the number of contracts traded, that is a huge amount of number of contracts. There is volume of contracts where the top two, or top one now, 21 statistics you take, the financial year or what you call calendar year 2021, we are in number one in number of contracts traded because huge amount of participation is there, and the contract size is less. So that's why you can say that's how we are number one in terms of volume. But value wise, we're in the top 10, of course. So this is how no, in terms of index options, we are very huge in terms of index options. So various global derivatives exchanges are there, like CME. CME is in fact the first exchange to start this derivatives. Korea Exchange, NYSE, Chicago Board, these are all no, top exchanges. These are various types of participants is there. So almost if you see here in derivatives, and retail and proprietary trading is almost 90%, 89%, which that means proprietary trading is how the brokers trade on their own behalf. So FI and mutual fund participation is less because, of course, mutual funds are not allowed except to hedge their exposures. So they can directly speculate on the derivatives F&O market. You can see here how the NSE turnover is going day by day. Very huge turnover is witnessed in the financial markets nowadays. Most of them are intraday, but you can see how it leads to price discovery. There are a lot of debates and discussions on why so much turnover and all these things. So unless this speculative activity itself is you have to see differentiate between investment, speculation, and gambling. So many people think that speculation is also they don't differentiate between speculation and gambling because what you can see NSE, that is when you put your money on the line, that is what we call skin in the game by Nassim-Nicholas Taleb. So what that means, when the traders put their money on the line, they contribute to the price discovery process. They contribute to the efficient impounding of information into this market prices. So that is a huge amount. They are contributing to market infrastructure. A lot of taxes are being paid to the government, and a lot of employment is being generated in terms of huge, brokerage offices, dealers, and relationship managers, front office executives, back office. And in fact, if you see this gift city is coming up is already operational. And latest, there is an agreement between SGX and Gift City also. There's a huge infrastructure. Even I have visited Gift City when I have gone to IM Ahmedabad. And it's where I'm there for 5 months as a part of DP. It's a residential program. It's a huge experience. As you see, the IMA grows on you. Is initially, but the type of culture, type of interactions, very immersive experience. That is the type of activities they conduct and the type of people they have, faculty and students. It is a sort of ecosystem by itself. You have a huge library, huge innovation, incubation center, guest houses, and a lot of visitors, MDPs, FDPs, huge case study approaches. That is how they bring out the concepts through case study. That is how that approach is very immersive sort of experience. So some of the derivatives misunderstandings. They say that derivatives are new, complex, high-tech fund. But it's not that. Derivatives are there from time immemorial. There is a lot of no, these type of option contracts are there in our mythology also. Then say that this the Dasharatha's wife asks for some uh, uh, options, then and she puts it out at that time she wanted, and then this the whole Ramayana is there. So that type of things. And people say that derivatives are purely speculative instruments, which is not so. Derivatives are derivatives uh, one aspect of it is speculation, but other majorly it is not it is used for hedging and arbitrage. So it is like a knife. You can use it to cut your vegetables, or you can use it to cut your throat. It is that is the type of purposes it has. So if you see, derivatives trading is unsafe and unsound. So in the sense how we use it, when you have hugely leveraged bets, when you use derivatives with huge amount of leverage, when you employ huge amount of leverage, when you take huge risks, and when your time frame is reduced, then it becomes very untenable and unsafe. Only large multinational corporations, large banks have a purpose for using derivatives, because this is also a myth. Now we have seen almost 60% of the usage of these derivatives by retail investors. So of course, SEBI is trying to control and these high participation by retail, by various things, by increasing margins, by increasing contract size, and all these things, because they have their own regulatory measures. Derivatives are simply the latest financial fad. That is also one of the myths, because these derivatives are for a huge number of years. Derivatives are existing. Derivatives take money out of productive process and never contribute anything to the economy. This is also one of the myths we can see, because price discovery is one of the main issues. Risks associated with financial derivatives are new and unknown. Because now we're going into a lot of quantitative finance and trying to quantify things. This is also can be, you can say there's some misunderstandings on this. And if you go to a summary, what are the points to remember? I think we will. This is how the basic introduction of these derivatives. We will continue in the next class. Thank you very much. Thank you.